Welcome guys! Today I have for you a SUPERTEC model G38P. This machine is wired for 220 volts and we'll just get right into it. This machine can be used manually with our two hand wheels up front. This will be for our left and right, for our table left and right. And then this is going to be for our in and out. Right here we do have our adjustable dogs. Slide them back to whatever part you're grinding with, and then we do have a couple knobs right over here. This one being our essentially cycle start, if you will. You throw it in this position for manual, and then you go on over for automatic. And then we have our two dwell counters along with our speed knob right here, which we'll demonstrate real shortly. We do have our headstock right here that you can jog. Does have variable speed. So you bring it all the way down or let it run. And then if the camera wants to just come over here real quick so I could just demonstrate what this foot pedal does. It's basically our collet closer. So you hit our foot pedal over here and you can see it lock and unlock. And that is basically that. Put that off to the side. So this machine also does have our coolant tank right over here, which does have a paper feed along with a conveyor belt, and then we have the hydraulic tank all the way in the back, out of sight. With that being said, this is going to be our control panel, which has our wheel start, our hydraulics. Start our hydraulics for you. That's going to be our wheel. And we do have the coolant button, but that does get automatically turned on when we do go into cycle. So let me just demonstrate the table going back and forth right now. Yeah, just give me 1 second. So like I said, you essentially just move your knob over to the one side, and then you can see our table go, and then you could slow it down or speed it up, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And then we do have our dwell counters. You can see it's just dwelling for a little bit, but let me just turn those down. So with all that being said, this machine can do two different grinding, and it's going to be traverse along with plunge. So for right now, we'll show you our traverse. If the camera just wants to come down here real quick, maybe you'll get a sense of the screen. There are a bunch of different parameters that you can change out. Stock removal, coarse feed amount, increment, fine increments, so on and so forth. So all you'd have to do is just tap it, and then you can type in whatever parameters that you want. But I'm not interested in changing any of that right now, as I just got it set up for my videos. So with that being said, you could either choose your traverse or plunge. So we're going to do plunge. Once you're in that section, you'll be able to flip our two knobs over to the house looking shape, and all you have to do is start it up. So we are doing our plunge traverse right now. And as you can see, we're going to be feeding down as much as I have it set to until it hits a fine feed and then a spark out. Then it will park itself to, I believe I have it set to the right hand side. You could change that around in one of the main screens, which I will show you after this cycle. I have it set for a pretty quick cycle, so we're not here for too long. So as you can see, it just sparked out and it's all done. So you're ready to go ahead and do it again, just like that. Give it a second and it will now feed in again. So that's just another example of our traverse. Let that finish out, then we'll go on over to plunge for 1 or 2 cycles. This machine does also come with a manual to help you along the way, learn the machine a little bit more with a couple parameters and stuff like that. So if we want to come back over to the screen over here, go over the main menu, and then you could choose your park selection, whether it's left, right, or whichever position that the table's already at right now. And then you could change your feed selection to feed either left or right or both. So we'll go on over to plunge, and it's going to be the same concept. Just load up the plunge, press your start button, and you're good to go. As you can see, the other two buttons light up. So that's just what happens when you go into the automatic cycle. So this is going to be a quick plunge, but you can see that we are down feeding. And we'll just do that one more time. So right here, we do have our diamond that you can rotate. So you could give yourself a nice bevel or whatever it is that you're doing on your grinding wheel. The tailstock right here goes along with the headstock. And then this table also does a swivel. It looks like it swivels to about 7.5 degrees. You just need to unlock these two nuts on both sides, and then you'd be able to spin it with this knob over here. I'm gonna let that plunge out one more time for you guys. You can set your zero right here if you're doing manual. Just flip it in any which direction, and then you'll feel the little peg stopping you. And again, with our variable speed headstock. Pretty solid machine over here, original paint to it. If you'd like to see this under power or have any other questions, feel free to email us or give us a call. So again, this is going to be a SUPERTEC model G38P, wired for 220 volts. You guys have an excellent weekend.